Hey guys, so I'm trying to make sense of everything that's going on with Jaguar, right? So I'm getting my information from all over. So what is this that I'm hearing? That Jaguar is only allowed to be out of her cell once a day, and she's allowed the one phone call, and she's only talking to her mother. I mean, this to me is like for hardened criminals, isn't it? Being let out your cell once a day? Are you serious? Is her crime that egregious to have this type of cruel and unusual punishment? She didn't kill anybody, but this is what the official Kingpin said on his show, that Jaguar is only let out the cell once a day. And I said, are you serious? I said, oh my goodness, they're doing my girl Jaguar so bad, only being let out once a day, like if she's a hardened criminal. So apparently Jaguar only wants to talk to her mother, nobody else. And this apparently is not because she really wants that, but it's because she's in a maximum security wing. And this is the protocol. These are the rules. If she's only allowed one phone call, she's going to talk to her mama, who can help her get certain things in place. Now, if she was allowed more than one phone call per day, then of course she would call the bloggers, because you guys know Jaguar wants everything out in the open. So she's been communicating with mom, and her mother have been putting money on her books, and her mother obtained a lawyer for her. She secured a lawyer. According to Sean Davy Ray, mom got a lawyer for Jaguar because whatever is going on is more serious than we thought. But Jaguar is her worst enemy. A lot of people are now being very sympathetic towards her, that, oh my goodness, oh, Jaguar is locked up. Oh, why did people call on her? Oh, why did this happen, that happen? She made it happen on her own. Nobody told Jaguar right to get out there and act a fool on social media for the past couple of years, accusing everybody under the sun of doing things that they did not do. But that was part of her mental illness, so people ignored it. The celebrities didn't file charges because they knew she was mentally ill. A few people filed charges, like Shauna Lewis, because she was afraid for her children. But in fact, a lot of people who she also accused of serious matters did not do a thing. They did not file charges against Jaguar, right? She was allowed to run amok on these YouTube streets. So now she's behind bars concerning something that she did. Now people are being very sympathetic and empathetic. Well, some people anyway, her loyal supporters, who will turn a blind eye, don't care what she does or say. So those of you coming into the video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like and share. Hit the thumbs up. Now, in terms of Miss Jaguar Wright, I don't know who is going to bail her out this time, because Legina is gone and our good friend Genesis is gone. So I understand, but who knows? Maybe they will forgive her and go to her rescue. Who knows? Now, word on the street is some people are thinking of a GoFundMe for Jaguar Wright, because coming up with that amount of money this time around is going to be, it's not going to be $150. You're talking $2,000, if not more, depending on if they slap more charges on her. But I know Genesis is not about to put up her house. Not for no friend, because Jaguar now have a history of jumping bond, skipping out of bond, letting poor Legina Gold lose her money. So I don't think Genesis is going to chance that. Next thing, she might skip out of the country. Who knows? Because Genesis may be a friend, but I don't think she's a friend like that. Not when it comes to her house. But word on the street is she had put up her house before. She didn't come out and say it, not to my knowledge, but I can't see Genesis putting up her house. Not for no, friend. Even if you know your friend for 20 years, I don't care. I'm not putting up my house for nobody. So that might have just been a rumor. So you guys know, the more I get the correct information, the more I'm going to release it. So this is one of those instances, because I didn't know concerning these charges, if they were the original charges or if they were no charges added on, and when were these charges added. So now, to my understanding, the original charge was resisting arrest, and then because she had a failure to appear in court, 2 other charges were added on the day she was supposed to appear in court by the judge. But what made it worse is that she left the state of Texas. She was not supposed to leave that state and relocate to Shreveport, where she was picked up on an NCIC warrant. And now she is being held in jail, maximum security, in Shreveport, Louisiana. So, according to Google search, Texas has established strict laws for people who attempt to escape arrest. Resisting arrest in Texas is considered a misdemeanor and can be elevated to felony charges. You could be facing several penalties, such as expensive fines and possible jail. So she was going to appear in court for resisting arrest. It was a misdemeanor and not a felony, but currently it is now a felony charge. So when she did not show up in court and then she skipped town, she had that failure to appear to answer charges of this misdemeanor charge. I guess Jaguar did not take the justice system seriously, and she should have, especially if you're violating a lot of laws, like going into the police department and cussing the officers out, or calling the mayor's office and cussing the folks out over the phone, or threatening people like Shauna Lewis' kids and Nikki's children. You can't go around doing all these things and not expect not to land yourself up in jail or somewhere in the court system. So now she's got these 2 additional charges: obstruction and retaliation. I don't know who she retaliated against. That was not clear to me. But folks, if you have any outstanding charges, answer it. Don't skip your court date, because it can turn into something more serious. Now this has turned into a felony. So my initial thought was maybe police officers, Ramirez, I'm speaking about mainly, maybe he filed charges of obstruction and retaliation. So apparently the obstruction of justice had to do with her not appearing in court. She obstructed the court from carrying out the sentence or the fine, whatever it is the court was going to hand down upon her. She obstructed that. So that's where this obstruction came in as another charge. So now she's waiting on the governor's warrant so she can be extradited back to Texas for her day in court. So those were the 2 new charges added on, the obstruction as well as retaliation. But this is how quickly your life can change. That one thing just trickles, a domino effect, in other words. One domino gets knocked down and everything else follow. Her being in jail. Look what happened. I know she was planning a party for Sam at the bike shop. You guys remember she was checking the rooms and looking at the amenities and what was going to be offered. She actually was planning a party for Sam. Some type of gathering. That's why she was there talking to those guys in the bike shop, and they were showing her the room that they had set aside, and telling her all about what they were going to offer. And that's when one of them said, someone have been looking for you the other day. Someone came by looking for you the other day. And then they showed her the white car. So that was the first domino. And then everything came falling after. Then she was at a hotel in the pool The cops came to get her on that NCIC warrant, put her in jail. Now she's waiting for extradition. So it was like that domino effect. One thing led to the next. Now, since she's in jail, everything else went asunder. Everything else fell. Of course, the U-Haul truck that she was planning on returning and planning on putting the things in storage, they towed that away. The truck has been impounded, and now all those things are gone that's in the truck. And at this point, I don't even know if the family wants to retrieve those things, because it may cost more to pay for the truck than the things are worth, to pay for the truck and all the fees incurred. Sometimes that can be a lot more than what's in the truck, and some people just forego everything because you don't have that type of money, that type of discretionary fund. My mother used to call it mad money. Your mad money is what you do with anything you want to do. You can blow it all you want. That's your mad money. So maybe the family's not willing to pay to get those things back based on the fees incurred. Maybe it's not worth their while to get those items back because it would be a lot more money than the things are worth. But you guys get the picture. That's what I mean by the domino effect. One thing led to the next, to the next, to the next. But it really wasn't hard to find Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright was out there just announcing where she was, just on the live. Oh, I'm at this hotel. Oh, look at the beautiful pool. She didn't show the front of the hotel, but it wasn't hard to figure out which hotel she was at, because hotels in general are constructed a certain way. You don't have to see the front of the building. If you look at the side, it's constructed a certain way for a particular hotel, like the Marriott, Days Inn, Westin Inn, whatever the hotel, they construct them a certain way, and that is for branding. So it's not hard to figure out, even looking from the side view, which hotel she was at, because it's a certain color they paint those hotels in for branding also, and they build them a certain way. So my point is, it wasn't hard to figure out where she was. So she would get on the internet every day and live and on YouTube, on Instagram, and she would really be announcing where she was at. She was flying in the face of danger. And only one thing comes to mind. Maybe she was tired of running. Maybe she was tired of just being out there, uncertain when she would be picked up. And all the times that she went into the police department, you want to tell me they couldn't look in the system, run her name and see if she had any warrants? You want to tell me that they dropped the ball? Well, I don't think they dropped the ball. What I think they were doing was waiting for that NCIC warrant. Because a lot of people were saying, she's walking into the police department. She's got outstanding warrants in Texas. How come they don't pick her up? How come they're not picking her up? They needed a warrant to get her, to pick her up. And I believe that's what they were waiting on. Because they knew she wasn't really running and hiding, because she was walking into the police department. She would park in her car right in front of the station, contemplating whether she should go in and file another report. And this was constant. She walked into the mayor's office. She called cops over the phone, cussing them out. So that just told me that she wasn't afraid of being picked up. As a matter of fact, she might have wanted to be picked up, because that's how her illness is operating in her mind, that if she gets picked up, then she can file charges and she can sue. This is what she's thinking. She's not thinking, oh my goodness, I might be in trouble for doing all this. She's thinking, nah, if I get picked up at any time by them, I'm going to sue them because they did not pick me up on just cause. So in Jaguar's mind, she was just waiting for them to give her a reason to sue. Remember, she said she was going to sue the entire police department, and they need to fire a few people because when she's done suing them, they're going to need all the extra money to pay her lawsuit. So that's how her irrational mind was thinking. So about 4 hours ago, Sean Davy Way put out a video where he says Jaguar's mother now is willing to go with Lachelle back to I guess, Philadelphia. They're going to put her on a bus. She's going to ride the bus halfway, and then they're going to pick her up halfway through the journey. So she won't have a long ride on the bus. And that is, I'm telling you, I put out a video yesterday when I said, when God is ready, there's going to be nothing she can do. All she can do is answer to God and do God's will. Well, this is it. Because apparently what happened, Sam told Sean FUA that his grandmother was scammed. Apparently, somebody scammed her out of money on the internet. She was trying to do an investment because she thought she knew the person and send them money. And they asked for more money, which she obliged and sent them, and she got scammed. So that was her wake-up call, in other words, that she was out there on her own, and if that person was able to scam her, then there are more people waiting in the wing to prey on this elderly woman. So that woke her up to now go to her daughter in Philadelphia, her daughter, Lachelle. So, like I said before, when God is ready, in God's time, everything in God's time. And so, I just put out that video not more than 24 hours ago, and this is what happened. She got a wake-up call. So when people put out a narrative that that's elder abuse, look at what the people in the public out there did to Jaguar's mother. They called and got Jaguar arrested and left her mother all alone by herself in Shreveport. This little old lady to fend for herself. Oh, that's elderly abuse, what they did. No, honey, it's not elderly abuse if somebody calls for the mother to be protected and to call on the welfare of the mother. That's what you're supposed to do as a citizen, a concerned citizen. You're supposed to look out for those who cannot look out for themselves or who are too afraid to look out for themselves for whatever reason. And even if they're not afraid, those who don't even know they're in danger, it's up to the public to make that call to say, there might be abuse here. Can you check it out? Now, when the cops come out to check it and they don't see abuse, then they leave. But it's the concerned citizen's job to put that call in to make sure the person is not being abused. So no, the fact that Jaguar's mother is by herself because she chooses to is not elderly abuse. Nobody abused this woman by putting her daughter in jail so she can be alone and nobody's going to know what happens to this elderly woman. No, this elderly woman got a place to go to. She's got another daughter and a son that she can go to. So this is not a case of elderly abuse. So I don't think anybody called on Jaguar being out of state or missing her court date. I believe when she missed her court date, maybe she missed more than one court date. So the court put out a warrant for her arrest. Or it could be one of the rants from between the police department or the mayor's office or calling the cop over the phone and cussing him out. One of those cops probably pulled her records and got the ball rolling, because you're not going to do all that damage to police officers verbally and not expect some type of retaliation. So everybody's now trying to rationalize, well, she had already missed the court date. How come they didn't arrest her when the cop pulled up to check on her mother? And how come this and how come that? Well, a lot of times these things take time. For them to get the NCIC warrant, maybe they got it after the cop showed up to check on her mother. Because I would think if she had an NCIC warrant in place and someone called to check on the mother and they pulled it up in their system where they saw this person got an outstanding warrant, they would pick her up. That cop who checked on the mother would have picked her up. That cop would have went out there and say, I came to check on your mother, but I see where you got an outstanding warrant, you're under arrest. Let me read you your rights. Period. So in my mind, the NCIC warrant came after that cop came out and checked on her mother. By the time she got back to Louisiana and got checked into the hotel and was by the pool side, that warrant was in play. And every cop now was out there looking for her, wherever she popped up. But that would be easy to figure out, right? The NCIC warrant would have a date on it, and whatever date we see would tell us where she was at any given moment. Because if the date on that warrant was before she went to Shreveport, then we can say the cops in Dallas dropped the ball, because when that officer came out to check on the mother, if that warrant was in place at the time, then he should have picked her up right then and there so she wouldn't cross state lines. So now I think a lot of people are faulting Gerald for not playing his part in all of this. Although he and Jaguar are separated and going through a divorce, so they say. So Gerald says they're going through this divorce. A lot of people are saying, well, he could have gone and helped her to move her things. Are you serious? This is the same woman who is trying to unalive him, put him in jail, and making all kinds of threats. He should go and help her move. Are you guys really serious? And what do you all think would happen if he shows up in front of Jaguar's presence? Or if he had shown up? How do you think that would have gone? Somebody would have been in jail and somebody probably would have been unalive. But definitely the cops would have been called, okay? So no, it would not have been a good idea for him to go and help her to move, because she had adequate time. She knew way ahead of time that there was an eviction notice and she should have had a truck in place. Also, she should have had an exit strategy. I'm going to move on the 31st because Gerald said the lights are coming off on the 31st. So let me move on the 30th just to be sure I have lights, and my mama got lights. So she was negligent. And now people are blaming him. I mean, I'm going back to my Ebonics. Where did they do that at? Where did they do that at? So Sean Davey mentioned today on his live that Gerald did call the mother and said that he misses her, because a lot of people were saying that's the least he could do. Well, he did it. And when he did it, a lot of people said he shouldn't. So damn if you do, damn if you don't. Sean Davey got to cussing Gerald out on his live, saying that why is he calling the mother? He ran through her money along with Jaguar. Incidentally, let me make a correction here. The last video I put out, I think I said that Jaguar was under the understanding that the money was hers, so she wasn't really abusing the mom's money, because the mom must have given her permission to use all the money at her disposal. And because maybe the mother felt guilty that Jaguar had to give a part of her childhood to take care of her when she was maybe 9, 10, 11. But I retracted that. I've since come to Jesus moment and retracted that, because when I thought about it, all that money that's coming in from the mom, Jaguar going to the casino with Gerald, them using the money for all kinds of things they should not have used the mother's money for, that's considered elderly financial abuse. Therefore, I have to make that correction. Now, Gerald said he misses the mother. He told Miss Francis that he misses her. Well, what does he miss? Does he really miss the mother, or does he miss her money? That's what I'm wondering. Because they were going through a lot of money. And before 2 weeks was up, every month they would be out, because then they would be begging for cash app again. So I'm wondering if he really misses the mother, or does he miss the money? Because when he left, he didn't double back and check on the mother. When she was being evicted, he didn't call and say, Mom, are you all right? When she relocated to Shreveport, he didn't call and say, are you all right? Are you settled in? There was no concern. All of a sudden, he's concerned now that Jaguar is out of the picture. What is it? Is he missing the money? Or does he really miss the mother? In terms of Sam, I don't know if you reached out to Sam, but to me, if you're that concerned about this family that you left, why did you not reach out earlier? That's the question. Drop it in the comment section. People, tell me what you feel. Anything concerning Goomba contacting Jaguar's mother. But most definitely, you should have stayed clear of Jaguar because she's very toxic. Both of them have a toxic relationship. They can't even talk without screaming. So there's no way he should have gone back there to help with the move. I think a lot of people who are saying that Goomba should have went and helped her to move are forgetting how badly this thing had gotten, to the point where Goomba ran from Jaguar. So why would he put himself back in that situation of cops being called on him and she's trying to unalive him or get him arrested, or, the last time he heard, she was calling the authorities on him to get him arrested in 2 states. So why would he go and help her to move at this point? That's the thing I don't understand about people. They are forgetting what they saw unfold for months. And one little move, this woman moving, is going to... So the financial abuse of Jaguar's mother's money was both Jaguar as well as her husband Gerald's doing. They ran through her money. But this is part of what he said concerning Gerald. He was so disgusted, but I'm going to let you guys just get a little piece of what he said.
So the husband, Goomba, decides to call Mama Wright, absolutely, recently, okay, and told Mama Wright that he misses her. You sure? Now, what you went through with your wife, with Jaguar, I don't care. And the reason why I don't care is because, again, I can overlook the fact that I'm the only one that championed for you when your own wife was running around here calling you an abuser, and all of that, me being the only one. Nobody else, just me. No one else. People didn't champion for you until after me, okay? And I stand behind that because I do not believe what she was saying within those moments in time. Do not believe you were doing those things. So that's why I defend it, because I'm not going to defend a lie or something that could possibly be true. I'm not going to defend that. I'm not. So that's the only reason I rocked, because I believed 100% that those things were not happening. But you need to sit back and realize that you were complicit with everything. Everything that people are going around here saying that Jaguar was doing, you were right there, doing it all side by side, agreeing with everything she was doing until it no longer benefited you. So the same thing with people going around saying Jaguar has been financially abusing her mother. No, you and Jaguar were going around financially abusing her mother, because you were spending that money. You were using it to pay bills, to get this, to eat that, buy guns. Although you doing all that shit. So let's not act like you were not complicit with all of that. You were eating off that woman. You were buying clothes off her back. You were doing all of that. Cut it out. Stopping at the gas station, putting gas in the car of her money. You were dipping in her account just as well. So don't sit back and try to blame that shit on Jaguar. Now all of a sudden you're so innocent. You didn't do anything. Nigga, please. Yeah, right. Like, no, you sat there and you did all of that with her. So anybody gonna sit here and just blame Jaguar? No, blame her, and we're gonna blame you too. We're not gonna blame Sam. Sam didn't have that card. You did. You have full access to her money, just like Jag. Hair flip. That business account was no business account. That was your mama money. You talking about you miss your mama? I miss my mother-in-law. You sure? Did you miss her while you were sitting there playing the game and that woman was standing outside getting evicted? Did you not miss her that day? Now all of a sudden you miss her? Like I said, I don't care about nothing with you and Jaguar. You blew up a whole car because allegedly your wife told you to. Complicit. Nigga.
So Sean DeVive also said that the card that Gerald gave back to Sam only had about $300 on it. all the money was gone off of that card. So Jaguar was not lying when she said Gerald was running through the money. This is allegedly because Sean FUA alleged that he had run through the mother's money along with Jaguar. So now the whole story is coming out as to what was going on with the mother's money, Gerald as well as Jaguar running through the money and misusing the mother's money. Gerald had no problem with it. He did not protect the mother in any way from financial abuse. So he really cannot come out now and pretend that he was the victim when he was right along with Jaguar spending the money on hotel rooms, casino gambling, cigarettes, drugs. This was all alleged by Jaguar. She said her husband was buying fentanyl weed, alcohol, etc. So he cannot now pretend to be the victim. And so another thing that he's accused of doing is jumping from woman to woman and not getting a job, not standing on his own 2 feet like a man should. He left Nikki with the twins and he ran to Jaguar. And now people are saying that he left Jaguar and Sam and now ran back to Nikki. So he's just using these women, really, if you look at it. He's not standing on his own like men should. So there's no new news on Jaguar. As far as I know, she's still in Shreveport jail in maximum security and just awaiting for her extradition back to Texas. So yes, Jaguar's mother is supposed to be on her way to, I think Philadelphia is where Michelle is living, if I'm not mistaken. When he do it, I'm telling you, when God is ready, in God's time, if she had not been scammed, she would have doubled down still and she would have been in Shreveport. But because she got scammed, this is what happened. This was the outcome. Her deciding to leave on her own from Shreveport to where her daughter lives. It was a hard lesson to learn, but maybe that hard lesson was needed in order for her to budge, in order for her to move. I'm telling you, when you dig your heels in, God will wake you up. And the waking up might not be very pretty, okay? Sometimes you need a hard kick in the you know what to get moving. And that's what she got, a hard kick by being scammed. And that woke her up to get the heck out of Dodge. So YouTubers, those are the minutes. That's the latest on As Her World Turns. I'm over and out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel and to this video. Thank you all for watching.